any second now. Check, check, check. Oh, I forgot to run the sound check. So let me just hear from you a little bit. Say something for a second. Oh, damn. Oh, sorry
Say
about that.
something for a second.
Say something again.
Say something again. This is about how I talk.
Your sound is perfect. Yeah, your sound is perfect. Excellent. Do I sound good to you?
Okay. Yeah.
Excellent. Let's go.
Sure.
All right. So, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? As you know, this is DBL7, and I have my online active interview series. I have a guest today. Been hanging out, a couple times here and there. He's always been super cool. And but I'm gonna let him introduce himself. Go ahead.
My name is TC Townsend. I'm a retired carpenter. I live in Southern Cal, and I am what I call now an apprentice ancestor. And I work on creating joy in the world and positive attitude inside myself. And that's my daily routine is to be joyful. And I love working on videos. So I've been making a lot of videos recently. So I call myself a video butcher.
That's cool. I like that. Yeah. Actually, there's a DJ
Yeah.
Butcher. He's pretty cool, man. I do like the idea of chopping things up. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
awesome. So let's take a look. So the thing is that I used to watch the show Magnum PI, and there's a guy named TC in it, and he was like the coolest guy. I mean, what? So but what is TC, right? Yeah, was it from the show or is it from somewhere else? I don't know.
No, my name is Thomas Carl,
Okay.
and I'm a carpenter. So I was on a job, and there was three of us, and we were all named Tom.
Okay.
So I got tired of being Tom 3. So I said, well, call me TC. And it kind of stuck.
That
So,
makes sense. That's cool,
yeah.
man. That's cool. I
And
like that.
I like it. I used it for the sign off for the Cosmos.
Okay. So
Yeah.
that's a cool story, man. I'm gonna ask some questions. I'm kind of feeling the vibe of this cosmic interview. Hell yeah. Right? Okay, so the next
Right.
question is, now the thing is that there's some people that come into this activism thing and they'll have like a certain like framework. Like I'm a socialist, I'm a capitalist, I'm a feminist, whatever, right? Yeah. Not saying I'm for or against any of those particular labels, right? There's even people that are like, Nation of Islam, right? Yeah, all kinds of
Mhm.
affiliations. Do you have any affiliations or kind of like guiding like sets of like, I don't know, political thoughts or something like that?
Well, I teach the I don't know. And I believe that if you think you know something, it may be true, but you're stuck with that one thing. But if you stay in the I don't know, which is an open door to the infinite cosmos. And so that way you keep your mind open and you get to pick and choose from, as I say, if I leave it up to me, I get a bologna sandwich. If I leave it to the cosmos, I get a banquet.
Or what do you
So
get besides, what do you get?
I get a banquet.
Oh, a banquet. Oh, that's cool, man. All right. I
Yeah.
feel you. Oh, I get it. Yeah, so I could see that happening. That's cool, man. All right, I ain't mad at that. Now the thing is that some people when they talk about like, you know, different things that influence them in life, sometimes people are inspired by a certain person. Is there anybody like that, right? Like I see in my action, you see me quoting Malcolm X a lot, Martin Luther King, and that makes sense because I'm American and come from that tradition, I guess. Also, if you follow, right, someone, would you say that you're following a particular philosophy of theirs or something?
Well, I love all the people you named, and I really enjoy their philosophies. However, my life was affected when I think I was a senior in high school, however old that is. My father told me about a happy company, and his idea was that people wouldn't work for money, they would work for fulfillment. And he wouldn't tell me the particulars because he said I wasn't ready for it. But I kind of picked up on it. And so I've spent a lifetime thinking in terms of a happy company, in terms of working for fulfillment rather than money. And I was lucky to be a carpenter because it didn't pay much money, but it reeked with fulfillment.
Because you can see the result of your building at the end.
Yes,
I get that. I
yes.
do get
Oh,
that.
and the planning, the doing, and the being. And it turned out to, like earlier tonight, Brian was talking about Gandhi taught spinning as a type of meditation. Yes,
These are fun, man. Yeah,
yes.
that's cool, right? All right.
So there is something I called it karmic yoga, yogurt, karmic yoga. But it's when you become the task and you cease to think and you just become what you're doing. And it's like some people call it the zone, different people call it different things, but there's a beauty of when your mind and your body become one. And so anyway, that's okay. Back to, so how did that influence me? So I've stayed looking for the happy company. And recently I found a group called Copiosis, and they have a plan for a money-free society. And I thought, oh, that's the happy company. And so um, I just hold to that idea that we will someday come to a place where we will be rewarded for the good that we do, not the profit we make for someone else. And that's my hope or my goal or my moonshot.
That's cool, man. Yeah. As a
So,
carpenter, you are kind of like your own man, though. So,
huh?
oh, but you do work for other people as well, right? Yeah, on projects. I could see that in both ways.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I always had a customer. There's always somebody to serve.
It's true. Okay.
And
So,
I, although I did run a shop for a few years, 18 maybe, and I got to be the master of the roost. And so I did get the feeling of what it's like to create my own reality and have a group of men to support it.
okay. What are you most proud of accomplishing?
Well, I would say that time in the shop when we recycled wood. But I think you were asking me earlier what was in a political sense.
Yeah.
Well, the thing I always bring up is in the 80s, when Reagan was president, and it was Morning in America, and everybody was jumping on the bandwagon. Well, I couldn't dig it, so I created a political party called the Rock and Roll Party. And it's a party that was a party, and the idea was you're not going to get people interested in politics. It's boring.
Yeah.
So what you do is you get them to party for a particular issue and let them spend their money and have a good time. And then you take part of that money and you give it to good people doing good deeds.
Cool.
And but it never went anywhere because it was all smoke and mirrors. And I mean literally smoke and mirrors.
What happens?
Drugs.
Oh, yikes. Okay, it happens. I can see that. Oh well.
Well, rock and roll was sex and drugs and rock and roll. I
Yeah.
mean, it
Oh
was
well.
it was 2 years after that I finally stopped. And so from that time on, I spent my time in recovery, which is uh, recovering your authentic self, which is what got covered up with the drugs. So,
I feel you on that. Yeah. It's unfortunate.
so
Yeah.
I'm much more on the side of today. I'm
I think that's
happy.
still a viable strategy, though, because honestly, if we take a look at hit records, they'll just take off and get millions of buys. Those people are also
Mhm.
willing to pull a lever. You've got a win right there, right?
Right,
28
right.
million people buying this album. What? What? Yeah, and 20 million people vote for somebody. What? I mean, it's completely. That's a great plan right there. I don't see why. But the thing is that, right? A lot of the rap groups are already like paid for. When you said smoke and mirrors, I thought you meant like paid for by the industry. You know what I mean? Because the industry.
No, smoke is marijuana and mirrors.
Yeah, I saw it now. Yeah, mirrors. Yeah, stuff. Yeah, I know. Yeah, straws.
But I mean, it was fun.
Hey, look, I'm a DJ. I sing some of that. Not probably as
I
much as you have.
I
I've seen
was saying
zero.
at the time, I was saying, if I'm going to waste my life, let me waste it for a reason.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. And it's not a waste. I mean, you heard me tonight say I don't think there's such a thing as failure.
A lot of a lot of people don't believe in the future anymore.
Don't believe in what?
Don't believe in the future.
The future?
Anyways, yeah, I'm
Well,
sorry. I don't want to be a downer, man. I know you're in the
well,
positive vibe
take
space.
take a breath
So,
and tell me that you didn't move into the future in that moment. I mean, this is always the future. This is my future, literally. I mean,
our
okay.
present informs the future at all times. So every moment we're creating right now
So
for action decisions.
I'm old enough now to remember when we thought about this time. And I mean, what we're doing right now, this is the future of when I was a young man. I mean, it was like someday we'll be able to talk to each other face to face.
That'd be cool.
And here we are.
Maybe in Cali, you never know, man. I'm trying to be national with this, bro. I'm doing all kinds of shenanigans, bro. I'm up to all kinds of shenanigans.
You are such a you're a treasure.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's go. Yeah, let's go back to interviewing you, though. Yeah, let's learn
Okay.
a little bit more. So the thing is that, right? What is the most effective thing that you think that activists can do?
Well, it starts with yourself and you create a positive vibe inside yourself. You get in touch with your own personal power so that you're operating from a place of authenticity. So when you interface with other people, they know that they're dealing with a real person and they can trust you. And then you build connections from that space. So the motto's always been with the Rock and Roll Party and now the People's Transformation Party, which I'm doing now, is you change the world by changing yourself. And it's like if you smile, people smile back. You change the world.
Okay, that's good to know. All right, let's move on to the what's the next Okay, so the thing is that a lot of people join a lot of different organizations, and they're looking for change, right? Because they feel like they can't do it
Yes,
alone, or the activism kind of like is there to
right.
really serve the unheard, I guess, right? So that otherwise
Right.
not connected. So um, if people join an organization, maybe there's things that are good or bad. What do you think are some of the best practices that you've seen in some of the different organizations that you've been a part of, activist organizations?
Okay.
I like this term you came up with called show upness.
Show upness,
I
yes.
like that one. Yeah.
Um, well, since I got involved recently, re-involved, um, I told you about copiosis because they look like the happy company, and that's all based on the positive belief. And you want to talk about the future, they believe it's now and that this is actually happening now and people are waiting for it and they're saying, well, it's happening anyway. Then I went and I hung out with some people called Awakened Dream Synergy. And their idea was to bring all these entrepreneurs and future thinkers together and have a meeting and they could discuss what they're doing and just create that energy of the future. And then I got so most recently, I've been involved with Brian in the American Union, and uh, it's funny. It's like I've kind of given up myself on any hope for this. Uh, I call it the experiment, the American experiment, and we failed. I say all of us together, but it was set up for failure. And I'm going to say something that about voting. When you vote, you're putting somebody ahead of you. You're putting somebody over you. You're creating an aristocracy. And then we wonder why we're where we are. we have to become equal. It's got to be distributive. It's got to be um, trusted servants, people that we feel like we know and trust. And this trying to um, win power. And of course, we're talking about the ponderings of a magical thinker. And, but I do think in a way that what we think we're creating. So I do believe it's good to think positively and create positive outcomes in your mind.
If I could comment on that for a second, the thing is
Please
that,
do.
okay, if you look at the Middle Ages, right? Yeah, back in
Yeah,
those days, people were much more religiously based, and they didn't really
right,
put the valuation so much on money. In fact, people who were businessmen were like kind of lower class because the idea of making profits or money wasn't really supposed to be number one, supposed to be God or whatever, right? So you can see that, right? Society will have changes in values, and it is possible for it to progress your way, another way, many ways, right? Yeah. But I'm saying that
right.
change is possible, and we've seen evidence of change before. So I know it's a slow process. I know it kind of sucks. Now, the American, when you talk about the American dream being failure, and that's rough for me because I look at the way things are in Korea, and I'm like, oh my God, you know what I mean? Like for me, like America is also like the thing is that the way Korea is, I was brought up here and I'm used to the diversity and stuff like that. And I really enjoy that, even though I am a horrible minority here. But
Yeah.
yeah, but I do actually really appreciate the American melting pot, I guess, as it were. Especially in New York City, I guess I have. How is it? Wait, in Cali, where you at? Is it like real diverse?
Oh, where I live is very diverse in my particular neighborhood because I
Yo,
live
all the
close.
restaurants. What's up, man? The Vietnamese, the Chinese, yo, the Greek rest. Oh my God, yo, I like having that variety. Yo, it's just so fun. Like I love it. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Right,
yeah. You go to the country, you got like three, maybe foreign restaurants, maybe one's a Chinese buffet. That's all you got, bro. That's it.
right.
That's heartbreaking, man.
No, we I'm backed up right against Camp Pendleton, and so that's they have a the military gets diversity. They draw from a lot of different races and creeds and colors, and they teach them to work together. And so a lot of them hang around here, and after they get out,
Yeah.
so it's a pretty diverse neighborhood that I live in.
Now, I was raised in this, so the American experiment for me, and I can see where you say that it's failing, and you're right because unfortunately, people are just too lazy and distracted. They've been taught to value what the news tells them, but let's be real, right? The commercial interests are really controlling the TV, and I can't blame
Mhm.
them. But there's more to life than commercial messaging. Oh my God, for real,
Right.
right? Yeah,
So let me give you a positive note.
yeah,
Um, I believe I'm watching the empire. I mean, I've been studying how empires grow and die.
I agree.
And if you look at all the data, we're definitely at the end of the end stage of an empire.
You think I think the nuke's gonna go off?
Well, I don't know about that. I just know that I think we're at the end stage of an empire. And my want is that the people will realize that rather than waiting until the nukes go off, that we wake up and we say, wait a minute, we don't want to be an empire anymore. And we bring our military home and we spend the money building an infrastructure of energy so that we can become producers again and share with the world and become the benevolent, generous nation we promise. That's what I think. We could become a generous, benevolent country because that's what we promise.
They dropped more bombs in Korea than on. World War II. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
Well, you're not going to have any trouble convincing me that the empire is fucked up. And I mean,
you think we're gonna get invaded? We'll become
no,
that weak. What do you think? We could become that weak though. No, our military's too
no.
strong.
What is
They're making a
okay?
play
So
right now.
how do
And
we dominate? We dominate militarily and economically, right?
yeah,
That's what we use to dominate. So the military, um, I don't know about that, but I know economically, we have been riding on this thing of the dollar is the currency of the world. Everybody trades in dollars because it's easy for them. Well, now all these different countries are making new alliances and they're starting to trade in their own currencies and come up with new ways and new strategies, and they're cutting us out.
yeah. I don't think the U.S. can hold off Russia, the Siberia, China, and what's the other one? There's so much, and this what's Saudi Arabia. They're trying to fight all of them at the same time. It's what?
See, so that's the end of empire when you overextend and then you finally you just can't cover your bases anymore. So I think the American people need to just wake up and say, okay, we can see the writings on the wall that if we don't stop what we're doing, the world is going to come after us.
They're already after us. We have to make it up to them. They're really pissed off.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
coming for us right now.
cool.
Aren't they raising the oil prices? And Russia's. I'm not even
Yeah.
say they're coming for us because honestly, we should just, if we had like if Russia was playing around in like Canada, there's no way U.S. would accept that. There's no way. You know what I mean? I can't see that. Can you imagine Russia was funding Canada to go to war with us? There's no way we would accept that.
Mm. Well, I'm going to
Yeah,
say
whatever.
something else. As an addict, I am an addict, so I understand the process. And I will say I've learned to make it work for me. And however, addicts don't think right. They don't see clearly. I mean, when I was active in an addiction, I remember one time I spent my rent money on drugs that I was going to sell to get more drugs, but I did the drugs anyway. And that made perfect sense to me. And I think that's where we are as a nation. We're spending our rent money buying drugs that we're going to sell, but we're doing the drugs now. So we're going to end up without anything.
Yeah, they can't stop themselves. I don't think they
They
can.
can't, no, they're addicts.
But it's so
They can't,
sad because if we got it together, the people,
yeah,
we could save it. And I don't want to fucking have the fucking whole shit fall apart. That would be ridiculous. Yo, that's blame on us. It's disgusting. I'm sorry. Yo,
right.
I'm venting and we get back to
Well,
the
go
interview.
for
Yeah.
it. Your venting is welcome with me. I believe in
So
all
sorry.
the emotions are relevant. And if you're not angry, you're not, like they say, if you're not angry, you're not watching.
Yeah,
You're
that's why I
not
do
seeing what's
this.
going on.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing this instead of playing video games because I just love this stuff. I really think it's necessary. I feel guilty because my generation, I see the new kids, millennials. Our education system is not teaching these kids to empower themselves. It's teaching them how to make money for the boss. Wake up, pay attention to the curriculum for real.
Right. You know, I can feel guilty because of what's happened in my lifetime. But I can also tell you that no, I started the rock and roll party. I protested.
That's dope.
I did what I thought you were supposed to do as an American citizen. I stood up to the things that I thought were wrong. And I may not have done it in a serious manner, but that's just who I am. I mean, I'm a clown. I'm a political cheerleader. I'm not the leader of the pack. I'm just the guy saying, hoorah, yay, let's do it. and like just giving you someone like you giving you support. See, that to me is what I do.
That's
Is
cool,
just
man. There's
is just encourage you and say, way to go, keep going, dude, you're doing it.
You know what they say in New York? They say there's too many artists, not enough fans. So I also am ready to be the fan, you know what I mean? And there's space for all of us in all the different parts of this. There's definitely, space for hoorah people. There's space for people who are critical as well. There's space for the whole rack, you know what I mean? So,
Right.
yeah, I
It
appreciate you,
takes
man.
all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as you're willing to show up, that's who I work with. The thing is that, like, people could think whatever they want, but as long as they're willing to keep showing up,
Hmm.
you've earned your space. That's it. So, yeah, I mean, but plus I just like you. You're cool, man. Appreciate you. Yeah.
Well,
Anyways, yeah, man.
thank you. Thank you. This is fun. I mean, I enjoy this. I'm getting to talk about me, and there's nothing that my ego enjoys more than talking about me. And
Well, it's good for us to share, right? The information, right? Trust the ones
right.
that've been with you, not the ones that they give you. You know what I mean? And it's really good to understand. They say actually one difference with politics is knowing who to talk to get the job done. So now that I understand you better, now that my viewers understand you better, if we're looking for someone to, have a positive message, we're looking for someone that, also is willing to work with closed groups like an American Union, or especially want to get rid of money for some reason, they could hit you up, right?
Yeah, well, I got to be honest.
They're like rock and roll.
I can't work for money.
I'm just saying, right? They could just hit you up to work. Hey, look, I don't work for money either, right? Yeah. I'll accept
Right.
donations though. Hell yeah, but
Well, I mean, if you hit me
not that they're
after
coming. Yeah.
if they hit me after the fact, then there's nothing I can do about that. That's their reaction. But boy, the idea of thinking I'm going to earn money, I mean, that just screws me up big time. Because then I start thinking, am I doing enough? Am I, is this fair? Am I being fair?
Hey, look, you're doing the best you can, man, and that's all you could
Right.
do, bro. You know what I mean? Don't.
And then the other thing is
I feel you on that. I feel you on that.
I can't work for acclaim for fame because then I lose my authenticity. I start trying too hard. I start trying to be
Ooh,
something I'm not.
let me tell you my perspective on that because I'm sorry to
Thank you.
jump in so much, yeah.
No, please.
But the thing is that back in the day, I also took that approach for a long time, right? Yeah, I still have some documentation of some of the work that I did, but a lot of it I just let go because I didn't really care about, like, about that fame stuff. I agreed with that. But the thing that happened later on when I realized that all the fakes were grabbing the fame, and what were they doing with it? You know what I mean? They were fucking, they were screwing everything up. Yeah. The thing is that
Yeah.
they are actually right. I think it's actually a responsibility to actually take the credit for that, right, and not allow other people to steal it,
Right.
right, and not even for your own, because they will misuse and mishandle the resources that are available. And the thing
Yeah.
is that, right, yeah, and I don't even really, honestly, I've been around this. You've been around the rock and roll thing. So look, look. It's not being famous is not all that all the time. You get surrounded by this entourage that has their own thing that they want. A lot of fake ass people. Come on, like being a little guy also has its own rewards. I know that
Right.
I'm living that. Look, being the big, and then you're the boss, they got the money. You're always the asshole. You're not. What did Mike Tyson say? We're like monkeys. The higher you go in the tree, the more we show our asses. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
We're like monkeys in the tree.
yeah,
If you look down, all you see is smiling faces, and if you look up, all you see is assholes.
yo, for real, right? So
Yeah.
there's some
So
truth to that. So enjoy the anonymity, but eventually we have to step into the role because if we don't, then other people will.
right.
And what is the price of if look if there's someone good, yo, then go ahead. But everybody could go down. I don't know how
Well,
much longer I'm gonna last.
yeah.
Fuck it. I'm riding on empty. I don't care.
I'm spaced right now.
What are you smoking, bro? I love smoking sativas.
I smoke sativa. Yeah.
I'm
And
growing my own. I give
right.
away
Well,
plants.
I
Order in
live in
Cali.
California, so it's cool.
What
My,
what are you smoking?
huh?
What are you smoking? Blue Dream,
Well, whatever the guy brings me,
Haze.
I have a, I have a deal with this guy, and he just shows up when I call him, and
Ain't
I
got
give
some
him money, and he gives me supply. And like this week, or this month or whatever it is, we're looking at Pie Face and Blue Dream. I like
Oh,
the Blue Dream.
I've never tried Blue Dream. I've heard so many good things about it. I am I am eager to try Blue Dream soon. I've heard many good things about it.
But I found out that when I quit getting high, that I have uh, bipolar major depression. And, a lot of people say whatever they want to say, but I know what it feels like. And, when people say, well, you might want to think, I've thought about it. And when I think about my granddaddy hanging in the garage, I don't want to go there.
Let me tell you what I think is similar to what might be causing it, right? Tell me if you think this is true. Now, the thing is that our body has a reward system, right? Yeah. When we eat
Yeah.
food, right? Yeah, your body wants to say it's satisfied an urge. You get what I mean? When you like
Yeah.
have sex, you satisfy an urge, and your body says this feels good for you. So the
Right.
thing is, right? When you stop smoking, it's like you're starving yourself because your body's used to that, right? That stimulus saying like, that urge has been fulfilled, but now you're taking it away. So in a way, you're starving. So if you think about when you stop eating, like I'm down with fasting, but after you
Mm,
fast for a while, you go into a low energy state, and
right.
right, yeah. And I'm not saying like you can't still be positive person or like understanding, but it can happen where. So that's where I think it happens, man. You know what I mean? Just from a biochemical standpoint.
I think that for me personally, um, it's funny. I tell people when I was a young man and I first found out about pot, I thought, man, I just love to sit around and smoke pot all day and just think about shit. You know what I do now? I sit around all day and smoke pot and think about shit.
That's cool, man. Live your life, man. I mean, in the end, you should listen to it.
The caffeine is the only thing I don't like. So I may look into
But,
microdosing.
but what I really like about you is that you don't just talk about it, you actually do it. You're actually doing, making a lot of videos, staying positive.
Yeah.
I mean, so
Oh, yeah. I mean, God, you know what it is? It's the dopamine, the brain chemical
because you like
dopamine.
making things, you're a carpenter, and making the
Right.
videos is cool, and you get
Oh,
to
man.
see it at the end.
So much of
It's
this
fun,
is
yeah.
just like when I work on the butchering, it's like you click, drag, click, 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 drag. I mean, when I when I created the shop where we recycled wood, what I did was I made lists of and I made drawings and then I made lists that went with them. Well, in the computer there was a lot of you click, you drag, I mean, and it's like the motions are the same, and it's just knowing that if you do this is going to happen, and it does, and then it feels great, and then you're all happy, or
That's
I'm
cool,
all
man. You're a creative person. That's good.
yeah. I'm glad I found it because, see, what happened was my I went to a back surgeon because I thought my back was what was hurting me because it hurts. And then I found out it was my hips. So I got both my hips replaced. And then, but when I went to see the back surgeon, I said, well, what about my back? And the back surgeon said, you just have to live with it.
Yeah, I don't think we can replace the back like that.
And I said, wow. So what I found out against all good advice that says you should exercise and stay busy and you should do this and you should do that. I found out that if I sit still, my back don't hurt.
Okay.
So I've trained myself to not grab for stuff, not try to help. I mean, all these things were so natural to me. If I see something on the ground, I pick it up. Well, I
Yeah.
had to train myself, leave it, let it go, let it be. Your turn is over. Sit still, be here now. And so it just turned out. And then when I found out about videos, and it started out, I just wanted to get a snippet from a video. And now look where I
Hey, man,
am.
you put in a lot of work, man. I respect that. Yeah. People that do the
Yeah,
work, that's got to be respected. That's it. Yeah.
yeah,
I get it.
yeah.
All right, so um, what's your take on the current situation now?
Well, I think we covered a lot of it in the sense that I do believe that we're in an empire in decline, and that how it's going to come down, I don't know. But I do, I see it that everything they try to do is there is a step backwards. They're just they're just getting in deep. I told you earlier, it's like they're in quicksand, and the more they struggle, the deeper they sink. And
No open insider trading. Nobody's doing anything. It's like ridiculous.
right,
Like
well,
they don't even try to cover it up. It's like we're just doing this, okay? Fuck y'all. Right.
okay. When you get into specific issues, um,
I'm sorry. Yes. Yeah, veering off. Yeah.
um, I think that when you say they're not doing anything about insider trading, I think what's going to happen is when we lose the currency, our currency is the currency of the world. That stock market's just not going to be so valuable to them anymore. Maybe I don't know. See, I don't know how it's going to happen. I just know that this shit can't work
For
much
real,
longer.
right? That's true.
It can't
Um,
go on much longer.
hey, look, you're super
And
cool, man. Yeah, I want to share you with the rest of my audience. You got a website. You got like YouTube. I know you're making videos. Share what's your social media stuff like that.
well, I'm not on social media, but I can tell you that my let me see here a minute.
By the way, you can also check out a lot of his stuff out at American Union. You could also
Yeah.
find their YouTube page as well, and we've made a lot of videos there. Is that the bulk
Um,
of your work right there? Yeah, there's a lot of videos there. That's actually probably almost all of your work, or you have more?
no, my work is at Pontification by TC.
Okay, cool. No spaces, right?
Um, no, wait a minute. That's not. Let me see. Let me just think for a minute.
Let me see if I can bring it up in my browser over here. Share it on the screen.
Um, I
All
want to
right.
get to where the link
Right.
is that says exactly. Okay, here's the link to my site. Now,
Okay.
whenever and wherever this finds you. So
I think I sucked it sometime.
let me see if I'll share it with you.
I got you. I seen you. Yeah, I'm sharing my screen right now. State of the Empire, a little soon, too soon to say. I see a couple of your videos here. Cool. All right, cool, man.
Oh,
Apprentice Ancestor, I see this. Okay. Oh, cool.
yeah.
Jose Vega. Cool, man. Okay, you reposted that. You
Yeah,
made some
yeah,
comments
yeah,
for him.
yeah, yeah. That was that's the second guy I was talking about. The young people that I see that have their shit going on. I mean, it's like,
Oh, you're a Tulsi fan?
no,
Okay. Were you a Tulsi fan before, or are you just covering the issue?
yes, yeah.
I
And what
was
happened?
also. Yeah, I was also.
Here's what happened. I saw Tulsi say the greatest gift we can give to each other is our time. And
Okay.
I totally related to that. So I put it in a video because I wanted to set the tone for what I want to say to you about appreciation is the greatest thing you can give me is your time to watch these videos. And I want to tell you, thank you so much. But then I went and watched her video and she's Trump light. She's gone over. And my friend explained it to me, and I think it's true that she just wants to be on the side she thinks is going to win. And
Okay.
that's what, but she's totally like, she likes DeSantis, and she just said a lot of things that I don't agree with
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah, there was. I think she went a little like some of the things I was like, what? But I still respect her work in fighting the wars and stuff like that. But once again, she's not talking about Africa or Asia. Well, that is what it is. Yeah. But anyways, that's sorry to give that moment. Yeah. Hey, look. Anyways, now that people have Pontification by DC. I just shared it on the screen right here. They'll put the link in the comments or something, I'm sure. Now, what's the what's your plans for the future, man? Now that people have your information, what's coming up next? You got a new project coming up? I know you're gonna keep making videos. What's on the burner right? I got so many videos. Oh my god, it's killing me. I have like 4 or 5 that I like. I have some that have, I've lost footage, right? Yeah, because my hard drive died, and I said
Mm,
like I'll come up with part two. I never came up with part two. I feel well, whatever. It happens, yeah. What's coming out next?
well, my goal would be to stay humble and um, keep my focus on being authentic and not get into this thing, oh goody goody good. I mean, because I love it that I like attention. I'll admit it. I love attention, but I can't make that what I'm about. And so
I
okay, so what
understand.
what is my future? My future is I want to get Brian,
Okay.
or yeah, I want to get Brian to take and keep moving forward with this blueprint as a way for us to get the idea that we're the people and we can create the legislation and put pressure on the politicians to move it, or we move them.
I'm down with that.
And yeah, so um
But here's some different ideas, right? Yeah. And the
right,
thing is that locally, you may have okay, you're in California, so probably the Democrats are in charge, right? So honestly, right, because they're kind of like running things locally. Not that I'm like 100%, right? I'm actually doing this myself, right? I'm joining the county committee to try to establish local control over the elections and the judges. Yeah,
right,
because they're appointed by the county committee. So there you can work to try to ensure election fairness, criminal justice fairness, economic fairness, right? Yeah.
right.
It's kind of a low, slow process, but I'm hoping the fire gets lit up. Like when everybody goes broke and shit, they're gonna be looking for a way out, and unless they're ready to have a revolution, they're gonna have to show up and do this county committee shit. That's what I think. Yeah, and just take
Okay.
control of the government just like that.
Right, right. When they can't handle it anymore, we just show up.
Yeah,
Oh, it was in
what we do January 6th. I'm not trying to take over the Capitol like that. I'd rather
no,
do it
no,
electorally.
it was in
Not that big fan.
Taiwan.
You're right about the
I,
voting thing, putting people ahead of people. You're absolutely right about that.
yeah, I was watching back some a couple years ago. I was watching about this the digital minister of Taiwan and how they're doing everything electronically, and they're going digital. And so they said, well, how did you get in government? And she said, we just walked in and we sat down and we stayed here and said we ain't leaving.
Sometimes that's what it. Well, sometimes that's what works.
And so now um she's in charge of what they try to do is they try to get the um people the what most people agree on most of the time, what most of the people agree on most of the time, and they're trying to find that out and then find ways to incorporate that into their society. And it's like Estonia is the same way. They're totally digital. And I think that I would love to be able to vote digitally.
Yeah, we can use credit cards. I mean, they can correctly identify that to a person. I mean, I would
Oh
think
man,
that,
they
they
know
might be able to do this, right? Yeah. They're tracking us
there's so
all on
many
Facebook. Come
places.
on. Yeah.
There's so many places I go and they say, "Oh, hey Thomas," or "Hey TC."
Yeah, if they
It's like
wanted to do it, they totally could do it. It's just they
no
actually
shit.
don't want to do it for real.
Right? No, they don't want to do
It's
it because
bullshit.
they don't want us to have the power.
It's ridiculous.
And
It's a sham, and it's a shame. It's ridiculous. It's actually an indictment of the 99% that the 1% are able to pull this off. It's really sad. It's really ridiculous. I
it
mean, I'm not
is.
saying that they don't deserve, and that some people, right? Yeah, their excellent performance sure takes some more, but not like that. Holy what the? This is too much.
Well, Now, one of the things is, well, there's two things I'm thinking of. One is people like the excitement of the fight. They
Yeah.
like right. They like that adrenaline. So there are people that just fight to fight. Um, but the other thing, I think people are watching the news and stuff, and they don't realize that what's happening is they're getting the truth. And like I said earlier, they tweak it just enough so that you get confused and you're not sure, did they say that or didn't they say it, and then the next thing you know, you have an issue that people can fight about.
You
And
s-
people don't realize that they're being led into that every day, every hour of every day.
we got to do better. Yo, I feel like from like I'm in my 40s. What about you're like a little bit older, right? Yeah. I remember
Oh
back in the
yeah,
day.
Blotto.
Remember what was that guy? Remember that guy Hart, Gary Hart,
Gary Hart,
when he had
yeah.
that lady on his boat called Monkey
Yeah,
Business, yeah?
monkey
Yeah, yeah.
business.
And there was like a lady on his lap, and just that right there got him kicked out of the race. Now dudes are
Right.
straight up like doing getting blowjobs, dudes just having affairs, and it's like it's not a problem. Like go ahead, like nobody like just a whole just we just dropped like in terms of like caring about like media accuracy. We used to care a lot more.
Mhm.
Now it's like we just have these echo chambers, just obvious propaganda. It's like what is are the quality has gone down so bad. It's just straight disgusting.
Um,
I'm sorry, man. I know you're a positive guy, but I'm just like,
no, 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 no. That I like the reality, because it gives me balance and it keeps me realizing that every day is worth showing up.
hell yeah. Yo, you're a fighter, man. I
And
like that.
well, see, here's my idea. You wake up in the morning and you start out with gratitude. You think of some things that you're grateful for, and you create this positive attitude.
Yeah.
And then you remember your worth, that you're naturally ingrained, you're endowed with natural worth. And then from that you tie into your personal power. And then in that space, you make the choice for what you want to do for the day.
It's cool, man.
And
Keep showing up.
but but you have to, I mean, you don't have to, but I'm blessed that I have, I have the social security, so I have my needs met. So
Is it really though? Kind of the payments are not that high. You in public housing?
well, I had to pare back and live a very simple life.
That's a blessing, bro.
I
I
know
prefer
it
it that
is.
way. Having so much
I
stuff,
do too.
it's a big hassle. Cleaning oh man, I hate that.
I know, man. It's like I'm living in my room like a 6-year old camping out. I
And the
mean,
videos are dope, man. I think you're making them doper. You know, what I mean, you keep making them, you're gonna make them dope. Yo, I seen the
well,
effects you
I'm
put on
getting,
on the words and stuff. I don't even
yeah,
have that, man. I have to do some of that manually. I don't even know. That's cool how you had the words drop in. I saw that. Yeah, that's a lot.
yeah.
Did you have to put in each letter individually, or was it like
No,
kind of
no,
like
no,
a?
no, no.
I gotta learn those. I don't have any of those.
There's a motion tool, and it gives you 6 choices of how you want the motion to take place. And then of those 6 choices over here, you get character, word, or text. It can enter as a character or as a word or as a full text. And then you get to choose how long you want it to pause and then how you want it to exit.
It's too much stuff, man.
But it's all done. I mean, it's just,
Yeah,
and then
I'm
the thing
overloaded,
is,
man. I'm
when you
completely
when you
overloaded.
do when you do one, when you set it up for one, it kind of figures you want them all that way.
That's cool,
And
man.
it's fine until you get to the place where you want to do it different.
I'll
Then you
pick it
have
up eventually. Yeah, right now the bandwidth is fucking zero. Man,
I
I'm
appreciate
completely.
that,
Yeah, but
because that's not your
I
gig
love
right.
it. I make videos, but I'm in the middle of a lot of
You know
processing
what you're
things.
doing? I'll tell you what you're doing. You're connecting to people, you're reaching out, you're doing
Keep
you're
our
doing
platform
the book.
22, public housing. talent show, like, more stuff.
You're doing real work. I'm doing virtual work. You're doing real work.
It's all good, man. Hey, man, thanks for showing up, though, yeah? And actually listen to a brother like me. Most people doing the work behind the scenes, they want to be like some kind of super thought leaders and never listen to a guy like me, or Brian, or Theo
Oh
Chino, or
no.
James Aguski. They try to make sure that we are nobodies.
No, you're my hero.
Appreciate. Well, that's because you like workers, man. Yeah, a lot of people say they're for the
Oh,
workers. They absolutely are not for the workers.
I one of the things that gives me the greatest joy is to see somebody that's good at their job and enjoying it.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's like mm. And
Thank you,
like
man.
today, I told the cash register lady, I said, "You're my favorite." And oh, did that make her day or what?
Why not? Let's go.
And it
You know
was
what I
the
mean?
truth. I mean, of the cashier, she's my favorite. She's got a really good attitude, and
Well, she gets to succeed at her job. You know what I mean?
well,
Yeah.
someday those
Brian's
jobs
going through it
all
rough,
need to
man.
go. Those jobs need to go away, and those people need to be doing creative things because that woman's got a lot of creativity that's being wasted. Her standing there all day
Hey, man,
making a living.
the things that are worth doing sometimes are the most difficult. I know it's tough to keep showing up and making video after video, 80 of them in a row, 2 minutes long. I mean, we're making more 1 minute videos, shorts, who knows, right? Yeah, but you know, what I mean, keep showing up, man, and
Show up and show
there's
upness.
your
I'm gonna
history has
work on
been
my
made.
show upness.
Yeah, yeah. One day, like, what is it, like about 20, 30 people got together and wrote the Constitution. You know, what I mean, we could do whatever we want in this world. You know what I mean?
So are you going to share this video with me?
It's live right now, man, on my channel, dgl7.com. It'll probably come early if you're on the cell phone because the live videos get pushed more. But I'll definitely send you the link to your email address so you have it, you know what I mean? And you should check out my
Yeah.
other series. I've interviewed many activists on the channel. Yeah, you get to
So
know
is
them.
this record? I mean, this is recorded, right?
It's actually live streaming. So I did it live. I do some of them pre-recorded and then like I'll add like a name underneath and make it all nice and stuff. But it's a lot
Okay.
of
So
work and
this,
I'm burned the
right.
fuck
Okay.
out.
So this is out and gone, right?
This is live right now. This is on my channel now. And it's, as soon as I end it, right, it's just gonna post up and it's gonna be on the
Okay.
channel.
It's going to post as
Yeah.
long as it's posted.
But it's
And
live. Yeah, it automatic posts. All my live streams are available. You go to on my channel. There's also you'll see like the ones that I posted, and then you have to click on the middle one that says live. You can see all my live
mm,
streams. But I'll also add you to a playlist, something called the Online Activist Interview Series, and I've actually interviewed over 70 activists and asking the same questions I've asked you today. What do you think are the most effective things activists can do? Do you have right? Oh, one thing I didn't ask was from the beginning of your journey as an activist to your position now, have you experienced any perspective changes?
oh yeah.
Because
I I'm much less judgmental and I'm more accepting and I'm more open. Um, I started out where a lot of people are, and it's like I had my heels dug in and my ideas, and by God, I'll fight you over it. And so in this process, I've learned that, you know, I might not have all this exactly right, and it's okay. And it's good to listen to other people. And, but I will continue just to find joy in people like you. So, and
appreciate that, man. Very kind.
yeah, well, it's my joy. I'm going to change saying it's my job to it's my joy.
Why not? Yeah. That's all we
Change the V to a Y.
that is our job in life, right? To find joy, right? To do what we want to do. So doing great, man. I'm a big fan, bro. I mean TC, that's my homie. What's up? Yeah.
Right on.
Hope you
So,
yeah.
I want to thank you for this,
I'll end the
and
interview, but we could talk after this, yeah? We'll probably just chat up a little bit more, but that's pretty much the interview. Let's say things you want to say to my viewers before we go.
I want to say thank you to whoever watches this, and I want to say thank you to anybody that comes to my channel. And one of the things that I really like to do is to appreciate each person that views, and I'm hoping to become actually more friendly with some people that agree. And I want to be connected.
We'll keep building
Yeah,
block
keep
by block.
building. So I don't, yeah, who knows? I mean, I just want to say thank you all. And
Okay, last piece from my carpenter friend. One man could build a home, but a team can build a skyscraper. You know what I mean? So maybe achieving some cool things soon, man. What's up?
well, and let's work together because they say uh, uh, two men can do more in one day than one man can do in 2 days. So
It's
we
true.
working together, we and also if we're a little bit different, then we have a better flavor overall. You know, it's like your age and my age, those differences, and I just um you're so it's like, yeah, let's do it.
Let's go. Yeah. So I'm gonna
Bueno.
end the interview right there, and stay on for 7 afterwards.